Hey guys, Charlie here on Invisible Kid. Welcome back to another video. I'm sorry that hasn't been one for a while. I've just been a little busy with school. The last video I did was a review on Megadeth Cryptic Writings. Please do go and check that out. So today we're going to do a ranking video. I'm going to rank the albums of one of my favorite British heavy metal bands, Diamond Head. If you're a Metallica or a Megadeth fan, like I am massively, you probably will know this band. Metallica have covered a lot of their songs, and both of these bands have cited them as a major influence. Obviously, you know the big flagship song, Am I Evil, that Metallica covered. They also covered a few songs like Helpless and The Prince. From the debut album Lightning to the Nations. So a bit of background on them. They formed in Stourbridge in England in 1976. They were one of the leading members in the new wave of British heavy metal movement that happened during the early 80s, along with other bands like Iron Maiden and Saxon and Angel Witch, Def Leppard, all those bands. So, haven't been super prolific a lot of the time. They've had long periods of inactivity, breaking up and getting back together again. So they've had three vocalists throughout the years. Sean Harris was the original one who was there for the first four albums. Then they got together with a guy named Nick Tart. He did a couple of albums with them in the mid 2000s. And the most recent couple that they've done in the past 5 years have been with Rasmus Baum Anderson. All three vocalists are great. I think there's some fantastic stuff from each of these eras. Looking at this lineup, if you see me looking down here, I'm just looking at my notebook at some notes that I've got down. So current band lineup consists of Brian Tatler on guitar. He's the main guy who's been on every single album and just kind of kept the fire going for this band, Diamond Head. You've got Rasmus Baum Anderson on vocals, Dean Ashton on bass, Carl Wilcox on drums, and Andy Aberley on guitar. So they have 8 studio albums. I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. This is just based on my opinion, so if you don't agree with my list, that's okay. May look a bit different from yours in a few different areas. I will say I do like all these albums. There are just some that are better than others, some that I really like, and some that I don't like as much. And if you see me looking down here, I've just got my phone to get the track list. Unfortunately, don't have any physical copies to show you because, well, where I live, Diamond Head, this band isn't really all that well known. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult to get your hands on physical Diamond Head CDs, but so yeah, I'm just going to look through the track list and put a picture of the album up on the screen for you to see. So coming in at number 8 is going to be the 1983 album Canterbury. This was their third album. So came out in 1983. And was the last album they were doing 10 years before 1993. That album's called Death in Progress, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So, with this album, I do like it, but it felt like kind of a departure from the first two, which were Lightning to the Nations and Borrowed Time. It's kind of more moody and progressive in areas. It uses keyboards. There's some kind of slow songs like To the Devil His Due and The Kingmaker. Some of the songs even use choirs like Kingmaker and Ishmael. Then there's the title track, which is like a progressive rock song. Like I said, it uses a lot of prog elements. And then there's all these kind of up-tempo ones like Making Music, Out of Phase, and One More Night. These kind of up-tempo disco almost songs. So it's kind of a weird album, a bit of a departure. It felt like at this point, Diamond Head didn't really know what they were meant to do, and kind of lost their identity. So they put out this album, a wide range of stuff. But some good songs. Making Music, Out of Phase is really good. I think One More Night is a great song. To the Devil Is Due is good. Night of the Swords, I Need Your Love's another one of the up-tempo ones. So not a bad album. Not a lot of riffs on it, which is kind of disappointing. A lot of keyboards and synthesizers, and so yeah, kind of a weird album, but not a bad one by any means. So do like it, but don't love it, and not top shelf Diamond Head. So coming in at number 7, we're gonna go with the 2007 album What's in Your Head. The sixth album, and this is the second and last to feature Nick Tart on vocals. Pretty good album overall. I thought this was a bit of a step down from the other one with Nick Tart. All Will Be Revealed. It's not as memorable. It's a bit heavier. So a lot of really good stuff. Nick Tart is a really good singer. That's kind of an era of Diamond Head that a lot of people would overlook. I do recommend both of these two albums. A lot of really good underrated stuff. And Diamond Head are a pretty underrated band. It's like they're one of those bands that they're kind of well known for the early stuff. With Lightning to the Nations is all songs that the casual Diamond Head fan would know, and also on Borrowed Time, and pretty much the rest of this catalog is just all deep cuts. And I think a lot of the deep cuts, I think the deepest part of the catalog is definitely buried in the Nick Tart era. A lot of really good stuff. Again, pretty heavy album. I like the production. Nick Tart sounds great on it. There are definitely some progressive moments on it. It's not really progressive, but some of it is kind of progressive at times. Skin on Skin is a great song, great opening track. I Feel No Pain, Reign Supreme. Killing Me is a good song. Nothing to Lose is great. Calling Out. So yeah, the reason why it's kind of low is it's not super memorable. Some songs don't stand out as much, but still a pretty good album, very solid. Good Diamond Head album. Like I said, this is the last one to feature Nick Tart. So yeah. Coming in at number 6, we're gonna go with this was a one-off. Well, not a one-off album. But it was their first album in a while, and then the last one they did for a long time. 1993's Death and Progress. So after Canterbury, the band kind of broke up. They got back together in 1993. They put out a live album called Evil Live. And they also did this album, Death in Progress. Pretty short-lived lineup. This is the last one to feature Sean Harris on vocals. And the last one before 2005 when they got together with Nick Tart. So yeah, really solid album overall. Do really like a lot of the stuff. Star-Crossed Lovers of the Night, Calling Your Name, The Light is great. I Can't Help Myself is a really good song. Run, my favorite song on this album is definitely Wild in the Streets. That's a really cool, fast song. I really like the production on this album. It's kind of a polished album. A lot of it kind of reminds me of like 80s. It's kind of like the 80s hair metal album. I mean, by 1993, everyone's listening to grunge and alternatives, so that's a bit weird. But yeah, really solid stuff overall. The last song is also great, Home. So a lot of really good stuff on this album. Sea of Tranquility actually did a Diamond Head albums ranking a couple of weeks ago. That's kind of what inspired me to do this. I kind of dove back into this catalog and have been listening to lots of Diamond Head lately, which has been great because I love Diamond Head. They kind of talked about how some of these album covers aren't that great. I might actually show them on my phone as well as on the screen right here. So you got Death in Progress right here. Not a lot of not so great album covers. You got the DH logo, that weird DH logo thing that they did. They did also show you Canterbury and What's in Your Head very quickly. That's another reason, I'll just keep talking, why I thought Canterbury was a bit of a departure, because obviously they disbanded the Diamond Head logo and created that. I think that's a pretty terrible album cover, if I'm honest with you. Kind of just some weird drawing of a couple of guys. It's kind of trying to be dark and brooding. Well, not I don't know. I mean, kind of a darker album. So yeah. Oh, sorry about that. So and then you go, and then there's What's in Your Head right there. So yeah. So yeah, we're not talking a lot of great album covers here, but the albums are still really good. So yeah, number 6 is going to be Death in Progress. Really solid album overall. A lot of great stuff. Number 5 is going to be the first album with Nick Tutt. And this is their first album since Death in Progress. I keep saying Death in Progress, Death and Progress, and it also uses the DH logo on the cover. It's All Will Be Revealed. Really good album overall, actually. I think a lot of great underrated stuff. This is the first album to feature Nick Tutt on vocals. Really good stuff. I love the opening track, Mine or Mine. Give It to Me is great. Fallen Angel, Alimony. A lot of good songs towards the end. Broken Pieces. The title track is good. Drinking Again's a pretty cool one. It's a really short song, but it's pretty cool. Fast speed metal song. I love a lot of the riffs on this album. A lot of the riffs and solos from Brian Tatler are great, so that's good. And I also love the last 2 songs, Come Alive and Muddy Waters. So yeah, strongly recommend checking this album out. Really, All Will Be Revealed. Great album overall. Right now we're into the top 4. So number 4 is going to be their second album, Borrowed Time, from 1982. Let me just get it up on the screen for you. They can see it there. So yeah, that's a pretty cool album cover. Sorry about the glare right here. But so Borrowed Time, really good album overall. This actually kind of hinted at what they do on Canterbury. So obviously they came out with Lightning to the Nations, which is a raw and riffy and pretty heavy album. Well, it's not super heavy now, but kind of a lot of riffs, pretty fast paced. This one was a bit different. It's kind of slow, kind of moody and bluesy a bit at times. There are a couple of the songs are actually redos. They redo Lightning to the Nations title track and Am I Evil? So that was kind of weird, but a lot of really good stuff. In the Heat of the Night is a great song. Heaven from Hell is great. I love Call Me. That's a pretty cool song. The title track is really good. Don't You Ever Leave Me is kind of a slow bluesy number. Don't really love the second half of that. Sean Harris sounds great on it. A lot of really good vocal performances on this album. A lot of really good guitar solos and riffs from Brian Tatler, particularly in Heat of the Night and Heaven from Hell. So, yeah, Borrowed Time, great album overall. Right, now we're going to get to the one singer we haven't talked about yet, the most recent one, Rasmus Baum Anderson. He's been on their last 2 albums. So coming in at number 3 is going to be the first album that featured him. It's the 2016 Diamond Head album. Pretty terrible album cover. It's literally... So, like I said with Canterbury about how they just abandoned the logo is just that, but, that's just terrible, just using the logo on a shield. But enough talk about about how bad the album covers are. Fantastic album overall, the self-titled one. My first album to include Rasmus Baum Anderson. So Rasmus Baum Anderson is a fantastic singer. At the end, I'll tell you who my favorite singer for Diamond Head is. But Yeah, so with this album, a lot of great stuff. Bones is a great song. Shout at the Devil, which isn't Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil. Set My Soul on Fire. See You Rise is a great song. With this album, they really return to like a classic speed metal Diamond Head sound. So a lot of really great riffs. All the Reasons You Live, that is a top 10 Diamond Head song for me. With this album, I think the first half is a little stronger than the second half. Second half speed's good, Blood on My Hands pretty good. Though the second half does actually have my favorite song on the album, Diamonds. Diamonds, that is easily a top 5 Diamond Head song for me. Really great, fast song, with a great guitar solo from Brian Tatler. So yeah, Diamond. So yeah, coming at number 3, Diamond Head, self-titled from 2016. So yeah, right now number 2. I'm sure a lot of people, when they clicked on this video, they said, "Oh, Lightning to the Nations is going to be number 1." Well, sorry. Whoops. Let me just go back. So you thought Lightning to the Nations, which was their first album, was going to be number 1. Well, sorry, it's number 2. They are reissuing it for the 40th anniversary with the new lineup. It's going to have Rasmus Baum Anderson on it, singing on it, so that's going to be great. Sorry, just getting something on my phone. So yeah, they are working on a reissue of this album at the moment, which is going to be out on November 27th, I think it was. Not quite sure. So this is the album that most people would have at number 1 because it's got all the early Diamond Head classics on it. This was their first album, first to feature Sean Harris. Really great album, a lot of really good riffs. Really raw album. A lot of people would consider it a very important album in the new wave of British heavy metal movement. So yeah, a lot of really good songs. Title track, The Prince, Sucking My Love is awesome. That's an amazing song. Obviously, it's got Am I Evil, which is Diamond Head's big flagship song. A Sweet and Innocent, It's Electric is great. And then you get Helpless, close off this album. So only 7 songs, but all of it's really good. Sean Harris's vocal performance is great. Love the guitar work on it. So yeah, really great album. Coming in at number 2. And most people would have it at number 1, but my favorite Diamond Head album is easily the most recent one. And it is last year's album, The Coffin Train. The second album to have Rasmus Baum Anderson on vocals. For me, this really took things up a notch from the self-titled 2016 album. I think this is a fantastic album. Rasmus sounds great on it. It's not as much of a speed metal album. It's kind of got a darker and slower tone to it, but a fantastic album overall. Belly of the Beast, the opening track, is absolutely amazing. The Messenger is awesome. The title track is great. The Sleeper, Death by Design, a top 3 Diamond Head song of all time. Definitely could be probably my favorite Diamond Head song of all time, actually. Serrated Love Rasmus Baum Anderson's vocals on it. The Phoenix and Until We Burn do close out the album. So yeah, Coffin Train coming in at number 1. This is definitely my favorite Diamond Head album. It came out at the time I was really getting into this band. I remember hearing Serrated Love, that song, on a Spotify radio, and I remember being absolutely blown away by the vocals on it. Rasmus Baum Anderson is definitely my favorite vocalist for the band. All 3 are great, but as far as which one's the best, I think Rasmus Baum Anderson is the best singer who has been in the band. He's currently in the band. Looking forward to seeing more stuff from them. So let me recap my list. Number 1, The Coffin Train 2019. Number 2, Lightning to the Nations. Number 3, Diamond Head self-titled. Number 4, Borrowed Time. Number 5, All Will Be Revealed. Number 6, Death in Progress. Number 7, What's in Your Head, and number 8, Canterbury. But I do like all these albums. There's no such thing as a bad Diamond Head album. All the albums are great. Just there are some that are better than others. So really great band. Do recommend checking a lot of these albums out. They're absolutely fantastic stuff. So as for what's coming next, I was planning on reviewing Judas Priest Ram It Down. Hopefully I'm able to do that soon. I was also planning on reviewing a couple more albums. There's another band who I'd like to rank the albums of, and maybe a few other things. So do stay tuned. Remember to like and subscribe to Invisible Kid, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.